In the bag?
Yes, I'm a minor, sir. I have security guards. They left that in my bag, sir. I did not pack my bag.
Well, we can get that all straightened out.
Left Immortal, and it's cool. Like sometimes we switch perspectives, so it's from a law enforcement perspective.
Oh wow!
Instead of it being from the actual hustler side of the aspirational
You know what
side.
I mean? That's right. You know, I never done that, man. I don't even know where they come up with that, man. And then the guy's a rap, man. He's been working with them for the feds for 2 years now. You know what I'm saying?
The ongoing feud between 50 Cent and the Black Mafia family, BMF, has reached dangerous new levels, pulling Big Meech himself into the spotlight as he moves to defend his son, Lil Meech. Tensions erupted after 50 leaked a police body cam video from a traffic stop involving Lil Meech and his longtime friend, 3 Luck. The footage showed Meech in the back of a squad car while officers uncovered a firearm. Although the weapon was not illegal, suspicion skyrocketed when Meech asked the officer, "Did you find the other stuff?" That single question pushed officers to dig deeper, turning what should have been a routine stop into a serious ordeal. In the end, it was 3 Luck who faced the consequences, charged with drugs and weapons despite insisting he had been asleep during the incident. From his perspective, the only reason police pressed further was because of Meech's careless words, leaving him to shoulder the fall. When 50 Cent released the clip on social media, the reaction was immediate and explosive. Online audiences accused Lil Meech of snitching, a label that carries devastating weight in both hip-hop culture and street circles. His reputation took a major hit as memes, insults, and debates swirled across platforms. What might have been brushed off as a reckless comment instead snowballed into a public relations crisis, with 50 using his massive reach to frame Meech as untrustworthy. In the process, the long-brewing tension between the rap mogul and the BMF legacy reignited with greater intensity. Big Meech, still an influential voice even behind bars, refused to sit silently while his son's name was dragged through the mud. In a rare and forceful move, he issued a warning to 50 Cent, demanding that he stop involving Lil Meech in personal disputes or be prepared for consequences that extend beyond the online arena. The statement underscored how deeply personal the feud has become. What began as trolling and business disagreements has evolved into something larger, a struggle over respect, reputation, and the preservation of a family name with deep roots in hip-hop's most notorious history. The situation is particularly ironic considering 50 Cent's role in bringing the BMF story to television. He was instrumental in producing the hit Starz series BMF, which stars Lil Meech as his own father and has helped elevate his acting career. Yet the relationship soured as business decisions and behind-the-scenes power struggles brewed, with figures like Tammy Cowens, Meech Sr.'s longtime associate and co-producer, playing controversial roles that 50 himself publicly questioned. Old rumors of informant activity, coupled with disputes over creative control, widened the gap. Against this backdrop, 50's release of the body cam video appears less like a random jab and more like a calculated strike designed to weaken both Lil Meech and the broader BMF brand. Adding fuel to the fire, 50 mocked Lil Meech relentlessly online, calling him names like meme, painting him as a privileged private school kid lacking street credibility, and circulating alleged audio of him apologizing to 3 Luck. For critics, this crossed the line from business feud to character assassination, but for 50, it was just another ruthless move in his long history of public battles. Meanwhile, Big Meech's protective response highlights the stakes, a father defending not only his son, but also the fragile image of a family empire already scarred by years of scrutiny and myth-building. For Lil Meech, the controversy could mark a turning point. In entertainment, particularly in hip-hop, credibility is as valuable as talent. If audiences come to believe that he threw his friend under the bus, the stain may follow him far longer than this moment in the news cycle. His acting career, tied closely to his portrayal of his father on BMF, now hangs in the balance as fans and critics alike question whether the show can withstand the weight of such negative publicity. Starz has yet to confirm a 5th season of BMF, and the real-life turmoil could complicate both its production and its reception. At its core, the feud is no longer just about two individuals trading jabs. It has become a symbolic clash between legacy and ambition, between a mogul determined to control narratives and a family determined to protect its name. For 50 Cent, it is a chance to reassert dominance through shock tactics and public ridicule. For Big Meech, it is about loyalty, family, and the refusal to let outsiders define his bloodline. And for Lil Meech, caught in the middle, it is a defining moment that could either shatter his rising career or harden his resolve to carry on the weighty legacy of the BMF name. According to him, Meech let him carry the blame, and as a result, he ended up behind bars. Now, 3 Luck has gone public. On Instagram, he shared the very body cam footage that 50 Cent circulated, alongside old photos of himself and Lil Meech hanging out back in the day. His caption was brutal: "Reason I got to go do Fed time. I hate fake dudes like Lil Meech ruining my life." He accused Lil Meech of snitching on him and even took shots at Big Meech, writing that the BMF boss raised a lame. The drama didn't stop there. 3 Luck claimed that Meech once admitted he was wrong and even promised to pay him back for the damage done, but never followed through. Instead, 50 Cent has been clowning both father and son for months, seizing every opportunity to stir the pot. Now, with 50 openly siding with 3 Luck, the whole saga has spiraled into something bigger than just an online feud. For Big Meech, who has always been protective of the BMF name and legacy, this was the final straw. His warning to 50 makes it clear: if the public humiliation of his son continues, this could escalate fast. And given the players involved, it's hard to imagine this ending quietly, and just when it seemed the accusations couldn't get any heavier, Lil Meech's longtime friend doubled down. He blasted Meech for what he called foul behavior, pointing to the moment on the body cam footage where Meech asked police if they'd found the guns and the other stuff. For him, that was the ultimate betrayal. After 2 decades of friendship, he said he finally realized Meech was never the loyal partner he thought he was. The man claimed he stuck by Meech all those years because he believed Meech was really about that life. Instead, he said he poured thousands into lawyers and bonds to fight charges tied to Meech, only to watch Meech stay shielded by powerful connections, his image carefully polished, while he himself lost money, stability, and precious years with his child. His words carried the sting of disappointment. The same dude who preaches death before dishonor turned out to be living by dishonor. Just empty words, just like saying I love you. As of now, Lil Meech has stayed silent in the face of these allegations. But if there's one person who wasn't about to stay quiet, it was 50 Cent true to form. 50 jumped in almost immediately, clowning Meech with relentless energy. He reposted a screenshot from actor Michael Rainey Jr.'s Instagram page and used it as ammo, mocking the now infamous "It's not legal, it's not illegal" exchange caught on camera. In his caption, 50 joked, "I'm proud of you, Michael. See what happens when you don't use drugs and blow all your money on Chrome Hearts jeans." Then 50 turned up the heat. He re-uploaded the body cam footage of Lil Meech betraying his friend, this time pairing it with screenshots of the friend's accusations and a stinging caption, "How you gonna dump your strap and drugs on your man's lap while he's knocked out asleep?" Like, really? LOL. The trolling didn't stop there. Hours later, 50 dropped another post, this time a picture from the BMF series, with a caption that twisted the knife even deeper. First, he gets caught at the airport with a gun and starts panicking. Now he's on tape telling on his friends. That airport jab was a reminder of another embarrassing moment for Lil Meech, a leaked clip showing him detained at TSA after security discovered an unloaded gun in his luggage. He didn't have a license for it, and instead of keeping calm, Meech reportedly tried to talk his way out of it. Incredibly, he argued that despite being 23, he wasn't legally an adult, before resorting to the classic celebrity line, "Do you know who I am?" None of it worked. For 50, moments like these are pure fuel. He thrives on turning messy situations into entertainment, and with Lil Meech's missteps piling up, he's been treating Instagram like a stage, clowning the young actor-musician like it's his full-time gig. The body cam footage, the airport fiasco, the betrayal allegations, it's all been ammunition. And with Big Meech now stepping in to defend his son, warning 50 to back off, the feud shows no signs of cooling down. If anything, the fire's only getting hotter.
Good, man. Hey, super chocolate money, man. Yeah.
But now the feud has reached another level because Big Meech himself finally stepped into the ring. For weeks, 50 Cent's posts had been mocking Lil Meech, even going as far as to throw shade at Big Meech's parenting. That was the line. In response, Big Meech fired back with a quiet but powerful statement. He posted photos of himself with his son, standing united. His caption was simple yet loaded. "Nothing can stop us. We all the way up." On the surface, it looked like a proud father defending his son. But behind the scenes, whispers started to spread. According to insiders, Big Meech went a step further, allegedly reaching out to one of 50's longtime associates with a crystal clear message. "Tell him to stop playing with my son, or else." Now, Big Meech has never been the type to bark empty threats, which made this shift in tone hit even harder. Suddenly, the tension wasn't just online trolling anymore. Rumors even circulated that some producers connected to the BMF series were stepping back, afraid the drama might spill off-screen and ignite something real. But here's the twist. This feud didn't even start with Lil Meech. The spark came earlier this year when Big Meech linked up with Rick Ross. That single move lit a fire under 50. He instantly blasted Big Meech online, accusing him of being a rat and hinting that his reduced prison sentence came from cutting a deal with the feds. 50 even posted a screenshot of court documents, suggesting Meech had worked with the government through his longtime associate Tammy Cowens. The problem? None of that lines up with the actual case. Big Meech served 27 of the 30 years he was sentenced to, and his release came under the First Step Act, a federal law that adjusted sentencing guidelines, not from snitching. In fact, Big Meech himself shut the rumors down in a rare jailhouse interview. "If I had ever cooperated, that story would have been everywhere by now. You can look at my paperwork, man. If I was ratting, you'd see it all over CNN. You'd see it on Wikipedia." Penitentiary rules are clear. You don't call a man a rat unless you've got paperwork to prove it. That statement split the fan base right down the middle. Some sided with Big Meech, arguing that after nearly 3 decades behind bars, it was disrespectful for 50 to throw the rat label around without evidence. Others, however, felt that Meech's choice to connect with Rick Ross, one of 50's biggest rivals, was its own form of betrayal, especially since 50 was the one holding down the BMF legacy while Meech was locked away. The irony? 50 was also the man who gave Lil Meech his first big break in acting, casting him in the BMF series. According to 50, that bond between him and Lil Meech became so strong that it sparked jealousy from Big Meech himself. On Instagram, 50 even claimed the father couldn't handle the fact that his son was closer to him than to his own blood. The fallout got uglier from there. Word spread that Big Meech cut off his son's financial support after the tension with 50 boiled over. 50, never one to miss an opportunity, accused Big Meech of being a toxic influence, saying he encouraged Lil Meech's reckless spending and drug habits rather than guiding him. So now, this feud isn't just about petty online jabs anymore. It's a three-way fracture. 50 versus Lil Meech, 50 versus Big Meech, and maybe even father versus son caught in the middle. And if history tells us anything, once 50 Cent digs into a feud, he doesn't let go easily. 50 Cent didn't just position himself as Lil Meech's mentor, he's been framing himself as the only real guiding hand the young actor ever had. In his own words, 50 claimed that while Big Meech was busy bragging about his wild past, he was the one giving Lil Meech real advice about survival, discipline, and money. "I'm telling Meech I don't want him on drugs," 50 wrote. Meanwhile, his father is bragging about how he used to pop X like it's cool. "I'm warning him to stop blowing cash," and Big Meech is out here telling him about how much he wasted back in the day. That kind of comparison cut deep, because it made it sound like 50 was taking over a role that should have belonged to Big Meech in the first place. And then came the revelation that shook people. 50 admitted he had to personally step in and get Lil Meech into rehab. The story went like this. While filming BMF, there was a weapons training session. Out of nowhere, actor Russell Horn's blood pressure spiked, and he started vomiting on set. At first, it looked like a medical emergency, but then someone whispered to 50 that Lil Meech had been hiding whippets in his truck. Whippets, those nitrous oxide canisters, aren't just a party trick, they can be dangerous when abused. Reports claim 50 Cent found a stash of them, along with BB guns, in Lil Meech's truck, confirming his fears that the young actor wasn't just experimenting, but spiraling. Publicly, though, Meech was living a very different life, flaunting his $200,000 Antarctica, Cuban link, and diamond pendants he called the chandelier, boasting that his jewelry was so heavy it hurt his neck. To fans, he looked like a star basking in wealth. To 50, it was proof that Meech was burning through his blessings. The contradiction stings because early on, Lil Meech openly credited 50 for changing his life. Big Meech arranged a meeting that led to casting on BMF, and 50 paid for acting classes, mentoring him like family. What seemed like a passing of the torch from one empire to another instead became disappointment. Reports allege Meech squandered nearly $5 million from the show in 3 years on cars, jewelry, and parties with no investments to show. This is why 50 insists his jabs are more than trolling. He sees them as accountability. But critics argue he crossed a line, especially by fueling the snitch narrative. For many, the feud is no longer about mistakes. It's about who controls BMF's legacy.